Okay. Well, first of all, PJ, I'd like to thank you for taking the time out of your day. I know you guys give it your all. You're just done with almost an hour-long autograph session, and you've been greeting people and meeting people and doing the things, and I do appreciate your time. And what I wanted to do is get a chance to chat with you a little bit and introduce you to the Mini community, our readers and our listeners and our viewers. And I want to have you tell us a little bit about yourself. And
Yes.
Start with your name and your age, if you don't mind sharing it, in your hometown.
The gray hair gives it away a little bit. So,
in your hometown, which is Toronto.
Yes, PJ Groenke. I'm driving the number 62 Mini Cooper S JCW with LAP Motorsports and Mini JCW team. And I live in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, where we say A. And yes, and yeah, I am 44 years old, so been around the racing scene for a very, very long time, and I am over the moon to be back with this brand. Mini is just an iconic and epic brand, and to be back with them is really, really fun.
That's wonderful. And you know, the Mini fans are pretty darn loyal, and they love following their people, and we're trying to get them to have more opportunities and more aware of it, so they can come and visit you as you guys crisscross across America and racing the Mini. So, and we're proud of all you guys. So.
Oh, thank you.
So I know we talked a little bit about this, but so what opened the door for this? I mean, I know you had. I'll ask you about your history later.
Yes.
You're into getting in with LAP and how things fell into place.
It just kind of all fell into place. I needed a bit of a change after the last couple seasons. I kind of just wanted to do something different, and I was speaking with Christian a little bit at Indianapolis last year at the season finale, and I basically kind of put a bug in his ear, asked him to get him to give me his dad's number so we could maybe have a chat. And what really got me interested is when I was on pole position for the final race of the season, and seeing a certain orange Mini blow by me at the start of the race, I kind of made up my mind at that point. So, yes.
And that orange Mini, I don't know where that came from.
Yeah, kind of came out of nowhere. Yes. So, and I know that color very well.
There you go.
Yes.
So your racing history up through today, basically what types, I know I've read your bios and I know what you've done, but if you could share that with our listeners.
Yes, I've been around a very long time in motorsports. I started off doing my racing school at Jim Russell in Mont Tremblant, which was very, very fun. That's where I met JF Dumoulin, who's won 24 Hours of Daytona many times, Philippe Letourneau. And then from there, I started racing Formula 1200s. I did a couple races in those. And then I moved over to sports cars, and I started racing a Toyota Corolla AE86 with the Master Rotary in it. Got my first podium ever in that car. And then from there, a relationship that I made through that connection, I started racing the Nissan Sentras in the 3 Hours Enduros, because they used to have a spec series back in the day. And then when that series went away, the team started driving them in 3 Hour Enduros. After that, I was invited to be on a TV show, Star Racer, on Discovery Channel Canada, and I had some success with that. I made it to the semifinals. It was really cool. Derek Daly was a judge, Catherine Lake was a judge, Paul Tracy was a judge, and it was at Tremblant, and they were using the Jim Russell cars. And Philippe Letourneau were there, and JF Dumoulin, so it was really a lot of fun, and it was kind of cool. That was my first TV experience, so that really taught me a lot about what goes on behind the scenes with that. And from there, I got invited or asked to drive a Honda Civic in the Canadian Touring Car Championship, and that was my first introduction to the mini race cars, because Elaine Lazaire, my dear friend, was racing minis in there, and we had some battles, and I was on the podium, my first podium at iCart with him at that race weekend.
Wow, okay.
So yeah, and then stayed in Canadian Touring Car, drove a Saab 9.3 in 2009, 2010 was when I got my first real taste with Mini, because I was building a Volkswagen GTI to race in the series. It wasn't ready on time. So I had asked Elaine if I could drive one of his cars for the first couple of races. And he was more than welcoming to have me do that. and I got, I think, a podium in my first race or in the second race, and then the car was supposed to be ready, the GTI, for the second race weekend, but it wasn't ready. So on a Friday, I called Elaine and I'm like, I need your help. Can I drive your car for at least the first race? And he said, absolutely. He's such a good guy.
Yeah.
And he said, absolutely. And I won that race in the rain, in a Mini, my first pro win. And I will forever remember that day and the car. I think I made them a bit deaf with all my screaming and yelling on the radio after I won the race. And that was really my first introduction to Mini, and I've fallen in love with the brand ever since. Probably never should have left it, but I wouldn't have won my championship, which I did win if I didn't. But I was so happy to come home to this day. So, and then moving on from there, it's a long list of racing. GTI, then Honda Civic SI and Canadian Touring Car. Then we raced a Mini TCB in 2012, and I also did a couple races in the TC car, got a podium at Gilles Villeneuve on the NASCAR weekend, so that was really fun. And then moved over to Pirelli World Challenge in 2013, drove a Honda Fit for 2 years, Mini TCB in 2015, then Chevy Sonic for 2 years, winning my first championship in 2017, the final TCB championship, which was a lifelong dream come true. And then moved over to Subaru BRZ, Toyota 86, and then I am back home this year. Yes.
You know, I've been noticing that a lot of it was in Canada, Big Canyon and all that. What's the difference? Do you see much difference or any difference in the States?
Oh God, yes. My first foray into TCB in 2013, I was mid-pack. Like, the level of competition in the States is insane. And the first year in TCB, the first race at Kona, we had, I think, 30 cars. It was mental. I'd never seen anything like that before. So it was a completely different venture, obviously all new tracks, and it was just the best learning experience I ever could have had.
Well, it obviously looks like you've enjoyed it. I know that you have, always in racing you have your ups and downs, and it just goes with the territory.
Yes.
But you know, you persevered. You've done great. So now that you're driving with a professional race team, what about the demands on your time? Because you're more of a veteran than, say, Christian is. But for the folks out there that don't understand, they think some people just show up at the track with their helmet, hop in the car, and they're racing. You know, and they don't understand your mindset, your prep. You're learning a track before it's a new track. I've never been here before. How do I digest that? How do I learn? What can I do to get myself better prepared for when I show up? So maybe you could tell me what your ritual is or your routine.
For me, there's so much that goes into it because I have 2 full-time jobs. I'm a service consultant at a Porsche dealership, Porsche Center downtown Toronto, which they're amazing to me and let me come do this without question. So I work full-time on that, and then I also have to secure and procure my own sponsors. So I'm very lucky that I have an incredible group of sponsors that get me out here and let me do what we love to do, and I'm able to market their company and work for them and help build their brand through motorsports as well. So I'll work a full day, I'll go home, I'll do all the contacts to the potential sponsors, the follow-ups. There's no off season for me. As soon as the season ends, I get my year-end report together for them with all the numbers and media and marketing, measured media for them, which substantiates their investment in me. And then as soon as that's done, I gotta get my sponsorship proposals ready for the next season and start giving them out and making phone calls and follow-ups and everything. Altogether, booking my hotels, booking my flights, preparing mentally for the race weekends, just staying in shape to get my butt in the car and be ready to hustle it around the track for 40 minutes. So yeah, it's a lot of work. In terms of learning new tracks, I don't have a sim or anything like that. When I first started racing in the States in 2013, I played that one game to learn Coda a little bit. But that was a long time ago, and video games have come a long way. It kind of gave me a sense of left, right, turn here, there, but it wasn't really the same. And after that, I just kind of winged it. You just showed up at the track, and put it together. My rule of thumb is if you can't be up to speed or at a safe pace within 5 laps, you shouldn't have to.
Yeah, but you need a couple laps just to
To orientate.
How about any coaching or talking to other drivers? I know you guys.
Yes.
I watch you guys
Yes,
here, and you converse and talk about.
Yes.
Okay, you downshift here, you split
Yes.
your leg, you hit the
Yes.
brakes here, you
Yes.
downturn here.
Data's a
all
key
that
part
stuff.
of that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
data's great.
Videos. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I know first times I've been out on tracks, you know, and you can look the map, you can read all this stuff, but until your tires and your feet and your hands,
Yes.
you don't know it. You know,
Yes.
It's
Until you get that sensation.
first couple of laps, then you start to feel, and you also
Yeah.
keep an eye on people around you. You look at somebody that's
Yes.
a little faster than you, and you try to find out where
Hook
he's
up with
going.
him. Yes, exactly. Yeah, yeah. That's when you roll through the pits and say, "Send me out as soon as he's going down the front straight." So, I have like searched online for videos and stuff like that just to try and get a sense of going around
Yeah.
the track. We're going to Ozarks
Yep.
in May. I've never been there before. I don't think anyone's been there before. There isn't even a track map for it
That's
yet.
what I heard. Yeah, that's what the layout is going to be.
That's going to be really, really interesting.
Yep. But everybody else is in the same boat.
Yes, exactly. And I have no fear, so I'll just go chuck into a corner and hope that it holds. So, yes.
Good for you. And you're also having done this for a while. You know that when you travel, it includes travel. It
Yes.
includes hotels. It
Yes.
includes late nights,
Yes.
midnight flights, getting
Yes.
home, getting into the track,
Yeah.
dragging your butt, trying to make yourself prepared, and all
Yes.
that kind of stuff, and the adjustments that you have to make.
Yes.
You know, because you got to be sharp when you're out there.
Oh God, yeah.
Your concentration's got to be snap on and everything
Yeah.
else.
Yeah. I've got my routines now.
Yeah,
Luckily,
yeah, you have to. I
so,
imagine.
yes.
I raced for quite a few years, but I got out of it in
Yeah.
'85.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. Well, you kind of get into a rhythm of it,
Yeah,
right? Like,
yeah.
as soon as this race weekend's done, I'm on a plane at 10:30 at night.
Yep.
Landing back home probably, I think 9:30 or something like that. And then I gotta drive home, so I can't make it to work that day. But right back at work on Tuesday.
Yep.
Pedal to the metal because we're right in the middle of summer tire changeovers. So.
Luckily,
Yes.
you have plenty of energy.
Yes, keeps me youthful. So yes.
Like we're going back over this thing is you have to have the ability to seek out sponsors, and you got
Yes.
to have a marketing
Yes.
plan. You got to have the talents to market it. You have to
Yes.
have the appearance and
Yes.
the presence, the ability to talk to people and do all that kind of stuff.
Yes.
So all those people out there that are listening, you know,
Yes.
if you want to be a race car driver, that's fine, but there's a lot more that goes
Yes.
into this whole thing.
Yes, it's
and
not
there is
just
a matter-
getting into a car. So yes.
and it does cost some money too.
It is god awfully expensive, but again, I'm lucky. I've got such an incredible group of sponsors that kept me out here. I would love to name them all, but there's so many of them. But I mean, specifically the main ones I can name: Cabanos Comfort Food, Tundra Technical Solutions, TalentNet, Aletha, Joseph Gas. I'm just so lucky and thankful to have them supporting me wholeheartedly. And it really makes me smile year to year to be able to be out here and represent them, and we're going to kick some butt this year with Mini.
PJ, thank you so much.
Thank you very much,
Good
Mark.
luck to you.
Thank you,
It's
sir.
been fun talking to you.
Yes,
and
an absolute pleasure.
We'll keep, and I hope